Let me ask you something that's going to sting a little. Is there a woman in your life, a friend, a coworker, someone you run into on Tuesday afternoons, who makes you feel more alive in 10 minutes than your current relationship has made you feel in the last 2 years? You don't have to answer out loud. Your stomach already did. Because here's the thing nobody says clearly enough. The most dangerous relationship you'll ever be in isn't the toxic one. It's the safe one. The one that looks right from the outside. The one that requires you to slowly turn yourself down like a dimmer switch until you're just barely on. I've talked to hundreds of queer women, and the story I hear over and over again isn't about abuse or cheating or screaming matches. It's about a woman who built the perfect life and woke up one day realizing she built it for everyone except herself. That's what we're talking about today. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly what's been happening to you and what you actually have the power to do about it. Before we go any further, let me be crystal clear about what this video is and is not. This is not me telling you to blow up your life overnight. This is not follow your heart. Consequences don't exist. This is not a judgment on anyone who's still figuring it out, because figuring it out takes as long as it takes, and that's real. What this is a direct, no-fluff conversation about a pattern that quietly destroys queer women. Not dramatically, quietly. The way you slowly stop wearing the colors you love. The way you stop suggesting the restaurants you actually want. The way you get really good at being whoever the room needs you to be, until you genuinely cannot remember who you were when nobody was watching. We're going to cover 5 things today. Why we stay in the wrong life. What it costs us to stay. The specific moment the truth breaks through no matter how hard you've been holding it back. What real love, the kind that scares you, actually feels like versus what you've been settling for. And the one decision that changes everything. Let's go. Here's a story. See if any of this sounds familiar. Meet Jordan. She's 32, lives in Atlanta. She's been with her boyfriend Derek for 5 years. He's a good man, genuinely. Kind, stable, employed, remembers her birthday. Her mom adores him. Her friends think they're couple goals. They have a joint savings account and a very cute apartment with plants they've somehow kept alive. And Jordan is miserable. Not in a way anyone can see. Not in a way she can even fully explain when she tries. It's more like, she performs her life. She shows up. She says the right things. She laughs at the right moments. She is, by every external measure, a woman who has it together. But there's this woman at her gym. They've only talked maybe 6 or 7 times. And every single time, Jordan drives home feeling something she doesn't have a word for yet. This buzzing. This aliveness. Like the volume got turned up on everything. Jordan tells herself it's just admiration. Friendship. Girl crush stuff. Jordan is lying to herself. And the reason Jordan is lying to herself is not weakness. I want you to understand that. It's survival. Because Jordan grew up in a house where the word gay was used like a curse. Because Jordan has watched what happened to women in her family who didn't follow the script. Because Jordan built this life brick by brick, and it is the only proof she has that she is okay, she is normal, she is safe. To question who she loves means questioning everything. So she doesn't. She decorates. She plans vacations. She sends the engagement ring hints her mother suggested. And somewhere underneath all of that, she is slowly, quietly going hollow. Here's what I need you to hear. The life that looks right and feels wrong is not a blessing you should be grateful for. It is a cage you built yourself. And you hold the key. Let's talk about cost. Because we are always so focused on the cost of leaving that we completely ignore the cost of staying. You want to know what staying in the wrong relationship costs a queer woman? I'll tell you exactly. Costs you your personality. This is the first thing to go and nobody notices because it happens slowly. You stop suggesting the things you actually want to do because they don't fit the narrative. You start editing your sentences before they come out. You develop this incredible skill of being agreeable, and you lose the ability to know what you actually think about anything. I talked to a woman last year. Let's call her Priya. She's 38 from Houston. Spent 9 years with a man who was perfectly decent. When she finally came out and left, she told me the hardest part wasn't the breakup. It was sitting in her new apartment trying to figure out what music she actually liked, because for 9 years she'd only listened to what was on in the background. She said, I had no idea who I was without context. 9 years. Gone. Costs you your body. This is the one nobody talks about, and it is so real. When you are living inauthentically, when your outer life and your inner truth are in constant conflict, your body keeps the score. Chronic anxiety, sleep problems, that low-grade exhaustion that no amount of rest fixes, headaches, stomach issues. Your nervous system is not stupid. It knows you are lying, and it will remind you every single day. It costs you the love you could actually have. This one is the big one. Every year you spend in the wrong relationship is a year you are not available, emotionally, physically, spiritually, for the right one. Every Tuesday you spend performing a life you don't want is a Tuesday you could have spent building one you do. And here's the brutal math. You do not have unlimited Tuesdays. None of us do. The woman who could be your person, she exists. She is out there doing her life right now. And every day you spend hiding is a day you are not findable. That is not a small thing. That is everything. Here's something I've noticed. The truth about who you are never stays buried forever. Finds a crack. And it comes through. For some women it's a song that comes on the radio and you have to pull over because you cannot explain why you're crying. For some women it's watching a movie with a love story between two women and feeling something in your chest so sharp it takes your breath away. And then immediately feeling terrified by how much you felt. For some women it's a moment so specific and so simple. Someone's hand brushing yours when you pass something across a table, someone laughing at something you said, someone looking at you like you are the most interesting person in the room, and you realize, oh, this is what it's supposed to feel like. That moment is terrifying. I know it is, because it doesn't just tell you what you want, it tells you everything you've been pretending not to want. It holds up a mirror and shows you the gap between your actual life and your real one. And the first thing most women do with that moment is bury it. They go home and they are extra affectionate to their partner. They throw themselves into work. They tell themselves it was nothing. Hormones, stress, too much wine. They sign up for a couples retreat. They buy new throw pillows for the living room like new throw pillows are going to fix the fact that they felt more in 30 seconds with the wrong person than they have in 3 years with the right one on paper. But here's what I need you to understand. You cannot unknow what you know. That moment doesn't go away. Just goes underground. And it comes back. It always comes back. Because the truth about who you are is not a phase, it is not a temptation, it is not something to be managed or minimized. It is you. And you deserve to be lived in full. I want to draw a really clear line here because I think there is enormous confusion about what love is supposed to feel like, especially for queer women who grew up without a roadmap for this. A lot of us, and I mean a lot of us, learn to love the way we learn to exist carefully, quietly, in a way that doesn't take up too much space or make anyone uncomfortable. We learned that love is about being good enough, grateful enough, flexible enough. We learned that love is comfort and stability and not rocking the boat. And here's what we were not taught. Love is also recognition. Love is someone seeing you, not the version of you that's been edited for public consumption, but the actual you, the one with the weird opinions and the specific fears and the things you've never said out loud, and choosing you anyway. Eagerly. Not reluctantly. Let me give you the comparison directly. Settling feels like a quiet relief that someone chose you. A comfortable routine that works. Laughing together but never really laughing, the kind where you almost can't breathe. Being cared for but not seen. Feeling grateful but not electric. Safe but not free. Real love feels like being known. Not performing. Not editing. Your thoughts coming out before your filter catches them because you trust this person with your actual mind. Feeling more like yourself around this person than when you're alone. Laughing until it hurts. Silence that doesn't need to be filled. The terrifying, thrilling sensation that this person could wreck you. And choosing them anyway because what they offer is worth the risk. Real love between two women has something else in it too. And I want to name this because it matters. There is a specific kind of being understood that happens when your partner has moved through the world the way you have. When she knows without explanation what it's like to do the math in a room before deciding whether to be yourself. When she doesn't need you to translate your experience because she's lived it. That is not something to minimize. That is profound. Now I'm not saying love between women is perfect or automatically healthy, or that it solves everything. Doesn't. Queer women have every human problem every other couple has. Plus some additional ones. I am not selling you a fantasy. What I am saying is, you deserve to be loved by someone who actually sees you. And you deserve to love someone you don't have to hide from. If you have never had that, you might not know what you're missing. But some part of you does. That's why you're still watching this. Okay, we need to talk about the decision. Because everything I've said so far is just words, information, interesting things to think about. None of it matters unless you actually do something with it. And I want to be honest with you about what the decision looks like because it is not what movies make it look like. In movies, the decision is a dramatic moment. Rain. A speech. Running through an airport. Someone says the perfect thing and music swells and everything resolves beautifully in 90 minutes. Real life. Real life is messier and quieter and more painful, and ultimately more meaningful than any of that. The real decision is made 100 small times before it's made once in a big way. It's the decision to stop lying to yourself about what you want. It's the decision to say the true thing to one person, one safe person, instead of keeping it sealed up inside you where it's been eating you alive. It's the decision to get curious about your own life instead of just managing it. It's the decision to go to therapy, or to call that friend you've been avoiding because she asks too good questions, or to sit alone for an hour without your phone and actually listen to what's happening inside you. And eventually, if you've been doing those small honest things, the big decision becomes less of a leap and more of a step. Still scary. Still real. But survivable. More than survivable. Here's what I've seen happen to women who made it. Yes, there is disruption. Yes, there are hard conversations and hurt feelings and logistical nightmares, and people in your life who don't understand or don't approve. That is real and I won't pretend otherwise. But on the other side of that disruption, there is a woman who sleeps through the night, who laughs without calculating whether it's appropriate, who comes home to herself, to a partner, to a life she actually chose, and feels relieved to be there. That woman exists. She's the version of you that's been waiting. And she's been waiting long enough. So let me bring this all together with the one insight I want you to walk away with today. The thing that keeps queer women stuck, the actual root of it, underneath the fear and the finances and the family drama and all the practical stuff, is this: we have been taught to treat our own lives as something that happens to us instead of something we build. We waited to be accepted. We waited for permission. We waited for it to be safe. We made ourselves small so other people could be comfortable. We optimized for other people's happiness so aggressively that we forgot to ask whether we were happy. And the cruel irony is, the people we were protecting from the truth, most of them would have survived it. Most of them in time would have been okay. We were the ones not surviving. We were the ones disappearing one Tuesday at a time. You are not a supporting character in your own life. You are not a burden for having needs. You are not wrong for wanting to be loved in a way that actually reaches you. And you are not too late. I need to say that clearly. You are not too late. Women have rebuilt their entire lives at 30, at 40, at 55. The number on your age does not determine whether you get to have a real one. The only question is, what are you going to do with the time you have left? Here's what I want you to do right now. Not tomorrow. Right now. Think of the one person in your life, one who knows the real you. Not the performed version. The actual you. Call her. Text her. Tell her you need to have an honest conversation this week. That's it. That's the first step. One honest conversation with one safe person. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have a plan. You just have to stop carrying this alone. And if you don't have that person yet, if you're watching this and thinking I don't have anyone I can tell, drop a comment below. Because that is exactly what this community is for. You are not as alone in this as you feel right now. If this video hits something real for you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. You might be the one person who reaches her. I'll see you in the next one.